a virgin USB, I might add. It was couriered to me, and I retained it in the courier bag until it was collected by Secretariat.
Until what?
Until it was collected by the Secretariat Chair.
In this matter, there was a viewing of the CCTV footage by all parties, the legal representatives for the complainant, myself, the evidence leader, as well as the legal representatives of the respondent. You were also present at the stage, is that correct?
That's correct.
And just for clarity, during the viewing of the footage, it looked like it skipped some parts or it paused for some parts in the video footage. Just for clarity that everyone understands, what is the reasons for that in the video footage?
As I've stated earlier on, when there's no person or any movement in that frame, the footage would stop, it would stop recording. And as soon as somebody comes into the frame and there's motion, it starts again. So it seems like there's a jump in the footage, or it was tampered with, but it is not the case.
Are you familiar with the court setting there at Mthatha High Court? The office buildings?
Not in detail. Okay.
Do you have that footage here with you today?
I do.
Chair, I'm going to ask the witness to play it for us. There is a minute prepared, or not a minute, notes prepared and accepted by all parties. It is in front of you in this file. And I propose that it be handed in as Exhibit 5, if there's no objections to that.
Yeah, it is submitted as Exhibit 5. And that is, you say it is what?
It is notes on the movement on the video footage that will be played by the witness now.
Thank you.
Mr. Naidu, I would request you, there are a number of periods that there's no movement on the video footage. Would it be able for you to fast forward through those so that we don't waste unnecessary time while viewing that footage?
I will try, Chair.
And Chair, just for the panel also to follow, or let me ask you this first. How many sections, if I can put it like that, are on that memory stick, the footage that was saved?
There are 3. The first one is 2022-11-14, it's the 14th of November, from the time 08:01 and 31 seconds until 2022-11-14, which is the same day.
Mr. Naidu,
sorry.
Can you just start and don't be that fast?
Okay,
we're making notes.
My apologies.
We don't just, we don't just rely on the tape, on the recording. We must make notes.
Noted.
In case a disaster of some kind happens. We must have actual physical notes. And that is why sometimes I will have to stop you if you go too fast.
Noted, Chair.
Yes.
Just start again slowly. The timestamp on that footage?
Okay, it's 2022, 11:14. Time is 08, 01, and 31 seconds. That's where the footage starts. And it ends at 2022, 11:14, which is the same day, at 09, 02, and 51 seconds.
So am I correct to say that it's just over an hour's footage?
That's correct.
All right, and the second one?
Second one is 2022, 11:14, the same day. The time is 15:11 and 47 seconds. And that clip ends on 2022, 11:14, which is the same day. 17, 23, and 41 seconds.
The third clip?
Third clip is 2022, 11:16, which is 2 days later. Time is 08, 22, and 04 seconds. And that clip ends on 2022, 11:16, 09, 01, and 12 seconds.
On this USB, we don't have footage of the 15th, am I correct?
That's correct.
Now, at this late stage, would it be possible to retrieve any footage on the 15th of November 2022?
It would be impossible.
Chair, I think we all agree that on the 16th of November, there's no footage that's relevant to this matter. There was also no date of the 16th mentioned in this matter. So I would refer this witness then just to the 14th of November, if we can watch those footages, starting in the morning, and if we can just, as I requested, speed up the process where there's no movement on the footage.
Footage is now being shared.
Thank you. If you can just pause there. I see on the bottom it says C9, Chamber 2 Passage.
Yes.
What does that...
Sorry, Chair. Can I come in at this stage? I'm not objecting to any particular question that my learned friend is posing to this witness. And I hear that my learned friend is saying that the panel will be invited to watch the footage of the 14th of November, and that too we know of the times. And maybe I should start by saying that the Exhibit 5 was prepared by us for the respondent for purposes of making sure that the proceedings are shortened and curtailed with agreement about what they depict. But I see my learned friend is referring to the entire 14th footage, which will be viewed today. And we would have thought, in order to curtail the proceedings, that it would be prudent only, or relevant only, to view the footage of the afternoon of the 14th, because that's a contentious period. Because there's no contention, in fact, it's not even Mengo'S or the complainant's case that anything significant happened in the morning. So I just wanted to get clarity, because our understanding was that to curtail the proceedings, we'll focus only on the contentious footage of the afternoon of the 14th of November.
Advocate Skeppers.
Chair, that is not correct. We indicated this morning when we were discussing it that the 14th in the morning is also relevant due to the fact that something did happen in the morning as well. The complainant testified about being called back to the chambers of the JP for not being dressed in court attire.
Advocate Butland.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, just to place on record, we also think that the morning is relevant for you to watch for precisely that reason. I understand the need to curtail and shorten things, but I think if the witness is going to speed through those sections of the video where nothing is happening, I don't think it will take that long. I may have misunderstood the purpose. I thought that one could read this document as you're watching what he's speeding through, just to give you a sense of what is happening on the footage, and that we agree that how it's described on this document is correct. So, for example, when it says someone walks, a particular person walks, we agree that that's correct.
Unless I misunderstand Mr. Madonsela, this document will not speak to the morning, Exhibit 5.
No, it does speak to the morning as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was prepared by you.
Yes,
It also speaks to the morning. Is there a problem if it starts in the morning?
there is no problem. I was
If
saying
you are
that
just concerned about question of time being consumed
on non-contentious
on non-contentious
matter,
issues.
yeah. Because morning is not contentious.
Okay. But some other people feel that we should spend that time. So let us spend it anyway.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Naidu, you can play the footage and then please just speed up the view speed for the times where there's no movement on it, please.
No, noted, Chair, but before we start, you asked about
Yes,
right. Yes.
wording down at the bottom.
Yeah, so C9 would be camera 9. It refers to camera 9. Chamber, obviously, is chamber 2. And then it says it's the passage. So it's basically just giving an idea of the description of where this camera is positioned and focused. Right, you'll see there's also some clock on the left-hand side. This clock is just the real-time clock on my computer, so it's got nothing to do with the footage itself. Right? So we're going to play, and I'm going to speed up as... So that is times 1.5. Times 2 on speed. So you'll guide me as soon as you determine that I need to stop and go back or anything of that nature. Thank you.
While we are watching, just to put on record as well, is it possible for you to say in this footage what time of the morning that specific footage is?
So it won't be 100% possible. We're taking the time from which the stamp of the video has been removed from the system, and then we're adding that time. So it would give us that estimate. Obviously, you'd know.
There, if you can just slow it down there, maybe rewind just a little bit. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No problem.
So it's not possible to say exactly what time in the morning it was?
No, except to say that on the stamp I read out earlier on, it's within that time period.
Thank you. If you can just go a little bit back with those two ladies coming in. Up, okay, I see. I think we skipped it now. It's before this lady. There's two ladies that came in before her.
You said it was before that, Advocate? Before the lady that went in alone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Chair, if I can refer the panel, that would be point 11 on the notes. Sorry, point 6, point 6.
May I correct, whilst we are on point 11, Chair, that, may I state for the record that the last word, Mr. Matonzela, on point 11 does not refer to me.
All right. We'll correct it when we get there.
Thank you. You can speed up the speed again there. I think here you can slow down a bit. After this, point 11 will come up. can slow down there. That is point 11, Chair, on the notes. Sorry, I see it's not being displayed on the screen anymore. Are you still sharing it, Mr. Naidoo?
I'm checking. Oh, yeah, I think it went off.
I see there's no movement.
Yeah, it seems frozen on that side. On my side, it's playing well. And I think there's a challenge, Chair, with the connection with the Teams, the Zoom connection. It keeps restarting.
But it's going to become now important for us to view that footage. So if we can just reshare.
Okay.
Just, excuse me, just for the benefit of people who would be transcribing the record, we have paused in order to allow for the viewing of the recording. And once the viewing has been concluded, we will indicate accordingly. There may be some interjections in the process, but we will indicate once the viewing has concluded.
Okay, apologies, Chair. It was the network connection, so we sorted now. Advocate, you'll confirm if I think I stopped at that point. I paused the video when we disconnected, so
You can proceed from there.
thank you. There you go.
I think it's after this. We can slow down the speed a little bit.
It's at normal speed now.
Chair, that would be point number 21. Ms. Mengo is seen emerging from C9 corridor into the direction of C01. She walks down the passage. No, this is not, this part is actually not on the notes. Did you pause now? Or is it freeze?
paused, it's
Well, okay, now you can continue. You can play it faster. Yeah, if you can, sorry, just go back a bit and play it at normal speed. Gee, that should be point 21. You can leave it at normal speed because the next part is coming just after this. That is point 22, Chair. Chair, if all the parties agree, I think the rest of the morning's footage has no relevance on this matter before, so we can, if all agree, we can go to the afternoon's passage. You can go to the afternoon's part.
So with regard to the afternoon, may I please suggest that there should be no fast forwarding, no rewinding. Let it just run, because it's an important part of our case.
At normal speed.
Noted, the video is ready. Should I play?
Yes, you can play. Just hold on, just hold on.
Sorry, the request is from the public, excuse me, viewing through YouTube, for them to also see this presentation. Is there any objection by any party?
We have no objection.
For the complainant,
No objection, Chair.
Advocate Skeepers?
No
You don't
objection
have
then,
objection.
Chair.
All right, then I don't think there's a problem with that. Subject to, I'm not necessarily saying that we'll see those pictures, but it must be obvious that there are some pictures, alleged pictures or whatever, that even if they were to be here or they are here, those would not be shown.
That's correct.
Chair, before we start commencing with the viewing of this footage, may I please ask that the panel go to paragraph 9 of the joint minutes of the notes on the footage. There is an omission in the second sentence. She is walking down the passage in the direction of chamber at 0, in the direction of 01. 29.
Sorry, item
29.
2.9.
Yes.
What about it? You say there's an omission.
Yes, she says she's walking down the passage in the direction of chamber 0. It should be 01.
Chair, can I just, whilst we're on that, I'm just worried that this witness and the footage says it's chamber 2. We've identified it for our purposes chamber 1 because I think that that's what it says on the map that, the blueprint that Mr. Manansela has given us previously. I don't know if anything will turn on it, but I just want to raise that we're talking about the same thing.
Yes.
This footage calls it chamber 2, the blueprint calls it chamber 1, but we agree that it's the same space.
Yes.
And then, in fact, we would have marked, you'll see on paragraph 2 of this note, that to just try and explain that, we wrote chamber 01, that's CO1, depicted as door 4.55, which you see on the video, just so it's absolutely clear where in the courtroom we're talking, in the court building we're talking about.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then you can continue playing the video at normal speed, please. That is then item 29 on the notes. There should be item 30 on the notes. Ms. Mengo is seen entering the passage again through C1, C01, ushering two individuals into chamber 01. And they enter into the office. That is number 31. Ms. Mengo is seen coming out of the chamber and exits through C01. And that is 32. The two males are enters through C01. Chair, that should be point 33. Mr. Abongile Chete is seen exiting the acting judge's chambers and exits through C01 door. That is point 34, Chair. That is point 35, Chair. Ms. Nkai is seen walking down the passage and exits through C01. That is point 36, Chair. And point 37, Ms. Nkai re-enters one corridor through C01 in the company of two individuals. We can see this person is not talking. Does your cameras have sound on it?
Negative.
That is where she is carrying the chair. I see point 37 is combined, the previous one, as well as this one where she's carrying the red chair. Mbenenge. And this is point 38, Chair. Mbenenge walks back down the passage from the direction of C09, exits through C01, carrying bags and files.
Is 17 not two different episodes?
Second, Chair.
Item 37, sorry. Is item 37, does it not comprise two separate episodes?
I agree to that. It has been combined here, but it should be two separate
Yes.
points. There's no further notes as well on this video footage. I don't know if the parties would agree that we then stop the playing of the video. I see Advocate Maronsela is in agreement.
I'm in agreement, Chair.
Both parties are in agreement, Chair. There's no other footage on this that's relevant to this matter.
For the benefit of transcribers, the viewing of the footage has now been concluded.
We see that the individuals in the footage go around the corner into another corridor. Do you know if there's any cameras in that corridor, or don't you know?
There would definitely be cameras. There are judges that are located as in chambers in those areas. So wherever they are, for their safety, we have camera footage.
Do we have the footage in that corridor?
No, we don't.
For the footage to be downloaded from the system to be uploaded on the memory stick as you received it, is it possible to tamper with the footage?
I think it is possible to tamper with the footage. Because once the footage is downloaded off the system, when it's on the system, it is perfect, it's safe, because you need administrator credentials to access the live recordings. But once it's on the hard drive itself, where it's being prepared to be placed onto the USB, so you can tamper with that footage because it becomes raw footage, right? So as from when I requested the footage, as per my statement, the court manager was requested to be involved with the control room operator, use a brand new USB memory stick, download and seal and send to me. When I received it sealed from the courier. And that's how I transferred it to the secretariat.
So what you received is what you presented to us.
Precisely.
Do you have any personal interest in the outcome of this matter?
None.
Chair, after the evidence of Mr. Naidu, I would like to hand in the memory stick as well for the panel's viewing, maybe at a later stage. I don't know how we should mark that. Should we continue with Exhibit 6 then?
Yes.
So that would be the memory stick containing the video footage will be Exhibit 6, hearing Exhibit 6. Chair, I don't have any further questions for this witness.
Yes, can you assist us formulate the description of this item correctly? Just start by saying Exhibit 6 is...
Can you give the name of that memory stick that you have, and then we will make copies for the other members? I think the chair should receive the original one, and then we will make copies for the benefit of the other panel members. What is the description of that memory stick that you have there?
It's a SanDisk. SanDisk.
SanDisk.
Yeah. SanDisk.
So it would
Sorry,
be...
sorry, if it's possible, I was just asking you, Advocate Skippers, to give, shall I say, an official description of the content of this memory stick, just so that other people, when they view it, they find some people swimming in a swimming pool, and they'll, so that they should be saying, no, but this is not what it is. What it is, it's a memory stick depicting people getting into blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. But you are in a better position maybe to describe it.
Thank you, Chair.
If you can't, maybe the witness will help us.
Thank you, Chair. Hearing Exhibit 6 will be a memory stick containing the CCTV footage. There's 3 parts. That would be the 2 footages of the 14th of November 2022, the morning session as well as the afternoon session, as well as the footage of the 16th of November 2022, which we did not watch now. But that is a CCTV footage of the Mthatha High Court, camera 9, chamber corridor 2. Thank you, Chair.
Advocate Bartlander.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Naidu, good morning or good afternoon. We're already in the afternoon. I just want to ask you a few questions to clarify your evidence. So you said that you were asked whether you asked whether you received any applications to view footage in the Mthatha High Court in this instance, and your answer was that you had not received any applications. Is that correct? And as I understand your evidence, you were told after the fact that a senior judge had asked to view the footage through the control room operator. Is that correct?
It's correct. I didn't say senior judge. I just said judge.
I think in your affidavit, let me check so I'm not putting the wrong information to you. So in your affidavit at paragraph 2, you say, on or about April 2023, exact date unknown, I was contacted by Mr. Norman Mabuza, the then Assistant Director. I'm so sorry, it's at page 894 of volume 5. I'll just read you that paragraph again. On or about April 2023, I was contacted by Mr. Norman Mabuza, the then Assistant Director for Security in the Eastern Cape, who reported that a senior judge requested access to video footage in the Mthatha High Court from the control room operator. Are you saying that's not accurate?
No, that is accurate. It's how it was conveyed to me. So I'm just saying judge as per my earlier version that I presented to Advocate Skill.
Okay, so were you told that it was a senior judge?
That's what I was told, yes.
Okay. So at the time that you were told this, am I right that the footage had already been viewed by the judge?
That's how it was conveyed to me.
Okay. And are you aware of who that judge was that had asked to view the footage?
Yes, Mr. Mabuza gave me the name of the judge.
Yes, and who was it?
It was Judge Tokota.
Okay. All right, so Judge Tokota asked to view that footage, and we have an affidavit from him as well in the papers. In his affidavit, he says that he got permission from the court manager to view that footage. Are you aware of that?
I'm not aware of that.
Okay. Do you know who the court manager is in the Mthatha High Court?
Not personally, but I have communicated with him and Mr. Mhlonhlo at the time of trying to retrieve this footage.
Okay. But am I correctly understand your evidence that that was not in accordance with protocol?
It was not.
Okay. Why was he allowed to watch footage without having followed the correct protocol?
I'm not sure, Advocate, if I'm able to give a response with that. The court manager would know better as to why he was allowed. But as I said, the protocol does not basically allow for that to happen. And for a simple reason that even if there is, if a case or an allegation becomes a case, it's for protecting that judge so that you are not a witness or anything privy to that information. So it's just for that.
I understand.
Yes.
And am I right that it's usually only the provincial director of security that can authorize viewing, or is it someone else?
The provincial security manager will take the application from whoever needs to view footage. There is a form that is normally completed. I have an example of that form from that division. And that information will be conveyed to my office, and I would basically determine based on whether there is a valid investigation or a SAPS case with the case number, and determine and approve that footage be transferred to the individuals. That's the question.
So I would be correct to assume that everyone in security in that high court should be aware of that process if they have the form there?
Yes, they had a security manager, so even if you were not aware, you would inquire accordingly.
Okay. Is there a record of requests or a record of what has been downloaded for each court?
There's no record because we don't get as much requests. So the court keeps its own record based on how they have been approved. On our side, we also keep some records, but it's very few and far in between.
And are
So
there
we
any?
do have.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No problem.
Are there any records of Judge Tokota's request in this case?
None.
All right. Now, we saw two pieces of footage today. That's, you told us, the 14th of November, the morning and the afternoon. I just want to talk through the timing. Not the timing of the video footage, but the timing in which you had any role to play. Now, you stated that you were notified of the viewing in April 2023 when you had a call from Mr. Mabuza.
Yeah.
And in your affidavit, in paragraph 3, you say, so in paragraph 2 you say, on or about April 23, you were contacted by Mr. Mabuza, okay, who reported that the senior judge had asked to access video footage. And then in paragraph 3, you say, on or about October 2023, I requested the court manager Mr. Mhlonhlo to copy the footage onto a new USB and have the same couriered to the national office, correct? Okay. Those dates are correct?
No.
They're not correct. Okay,
Yes.
that's why I want to give you an opportunity to
All
correct
right,
it.
so the second date, Advocate, on October 2023, that was correct in that was the time I requested the footage to be placed onto a USB and couriered back to me. The first one, I think there I might have just got my dates mixed up there, but I think it was more around 2022 November, December. I think it would be more December, the first week of December.
December 2022.
Yes, because it was closer to after that period where the video was, obviously if it had happened any time after, we would not have been able to retrieve this footage and download it. So
Yes,
it was
because
around that
your
time.
dates in your affidavit. I'm so
Please.
sorry.
Are we on paragraph 3 now,
Yes.
where it says October 2023?
Yes, we're in fact moving between paragraph 2 and 3 as the witness is clarifying where he made mistakes
Will
in the
you
dates.
just tell us again about the dates, please? I
Yes.
think we're a bit lost.
Yes, sure. No, we're all a bit lost because the dates in the affidavit don't reflect the dates in his evidence.
Thank you.
We'll go through that again. Okay, so Ms. Naidu, we're a little, you can hear, we're a little confused because in your affidavit, you say in paragraph 2, in April, you were contacted by Mr. Bambuza.
That's right.
Is that date correct?
That is the incorrect date. So I
Okay.
got my, as I've indicated in the brackets, the exact date is unknown. So it would have been more towards November, December that I was told that the footage was viewed.
Okay, so that's quite a big difference in time.
It
That's
is.
moving from April to November, December.
Yes.
So, and I assumed exact date unknown referred to the exact date of April that was unknown, but you're now saying something different.
Yes.
Okay, so your version is in November or December, you were called by Mr. Mabuza to tell you that a senior judge had requested footage
That's right. At viewed footage.
and viewed the footage. Okay. And then you say in October the following year,
Right.
you contacted the court manager and asked him to download that footage that had been viewed.
That's correct.
Is that correct? Okay, so now we have the dates correct. Can I check with the panel?
Sorry. So that the first 2023 should be 2022.
No, the April 2023
Yes.
should be November or December 2022. And then the second date in paragraph 3, that's October 2023, is correct.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Now, Judge Tukota's affidavit says that he viewed the footage in December
Right.
2022. So do you want to correct your evidence? Does that change your evidence at all?
It's like I said, it should be end of November, beginning of December. So the exact date in that time frame, I can't recall.
So when you were contacted by Mr. Mabuza, was your sense that it had happened fairly shortly before he phoned you, or that it was a long time ago that he'd watched it?
No, it was in that same maybe 1 or 2 days time period. Because normally Mr. Mabuza would be located, he's based in East London, and he was called by the control room operators and indicated that this is what happened. So that's how he conveyed it to me. So it would have been almost immediately, a day at most.
Okay. And then in October the following year, so just short of a year later,
That's right.
you then instructed that this be downloaded.
That's right.
And I just want to understand your evidence. You said that evidence could be tampered with
Right.
at a certain point. At what point? Just be clear with us in terms of now of these dates. So that you said that the evidence could be tampered with after it had been downloaded
Right.
off the system. Is that correct?
I'm not saying, not specifically this. I think the question that was asked is, can evidence be tampered? And I thought in the general sense, that's what I was conveying, that yes, indeed, evidence can be tampered with, and that was the time factor. Whether this evidence was tampered with, I cannot confirm.
Yes, so I just want to understand the evidence. So if evidence could be tampered with, it could only be tampered with after it had been downloaded.
That's correct.
And when it's downloaded, is it downloaded onto the system, or is it onto a drive, or is it downloaded, in this case, onto a memory stick?
Onto the hard drive of that PC.
Okay, yes, that's what I want to understand. So downloaded means we've taken it off the system and put it onto the hard drive of that same PC.
That's right.
Okay, and once it's downloaded, it sits there downloaded in that PC, and that's when it can be tampered with?
Yes.
Understood. All right, and so that footage that had been downloaded in December 2022 and sat on that hard drive until October 2023.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you. Who has access to those computers?
Only the security operators, the control room operators.
The control room operators?
Yes.
Okay. Did you not think it was necessary to protect that information? I mean, you thought it was necessary to download it because there might be questions arising. Is it not your practice to actually protect that information instead of letting it sit there for a year?
Not necessarily, Advocate. At the time of us downloading the information, my comments to Mr. Mabuza was that, look, if it was that necessary that the judge took time to view it, it might amount to something later on. So just save it and keep it. So it might be that that specific judge indicated that somebody walked away with my laptop or my phone or something of that nature. So I was not privy at the time of why the footage was viewed. Right? So we only learned of that months later. And as it was, the footage was still not important even after the matter was registered as a complaint. And we only realized once that became evident through media and so on that we needed to extract this data, which we did. So there was no real concern as to whether the data itself showed anything or showed something or was relevant to this matter or not. So there was no concern. In fact, there was no even request formally for the data.
Until October 2023.
We requested the data from after it was requested by the evidence leader.
Okay. All right. Now, Judge Chikota says that he requested the control room operator, in his affidavit, he says he requested the control room operator to view footage of the 14th and 15th of November. You don't have any knowledge of this,
no.
Presumably. Okay, but I just want to ask you some questions arising from that. So his affidavit says that in December 2022, he requested the footage of the 14th and 15th of November 2022. And the footage that we have here today is the footage of not just what we viewed today, but what we have on the device, on the USB, is the footage of 14 and 16 November. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So what's happened to the 15th of November?
I can't say.
But Judge Chikota says he viewed the 14th and the 15th.
That's correct.
He doesn't say he viewed the 16th. And you tell us that the only footage that you instructed to be downloaded was the footage that he viewed.
That's correct.
Okay. So you have no information or knowledge about why we have the 15th of November and not the 15th, the 16th of November and not the 15th.
No, I can't confirm.
So is it reasonable then for us to assume that actually what we have before us is not the footage that Judge Chikota viewed?
It is reasonable because, like I said, the information or the data that we've downloaded was sent to me by a memory stick, and it was in a sealed bag from the courier. That bag was handed over to the Secretariat. So basically what was viewed by ourselves, as indicated by Advocate, that it was only that information that was on there. So, yeah, so I'm not sure, I'm not even aware of exactly what was viewed. So in my discussion with Mr. Mabuza, there was no discussion as to exactly what was being viewed. He himself was not on site at that court on that specific date, so he could not confirm to me that this is what was viewed, you know. So all we said is that he needs to convey to Mr. Wanga at the control room at the time that he just download what he viewed, and that's that.
And in fact, Judge Chikota in his affidavit also says that he, on the footage that he viewed, he saw the respondent arrive and leave his chamber. So the respondent is the Judge President Mbenenge. Judge Chikota says he saw Judge Mbenenge arrive and leave his chambers with a bag, but we haven't seen that today.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, can my learned friend clarify on which date? Is he putting that
On the, I can check the affidavit for you if you just bear with me a minute.
Because I might have to deal with it.
If you just bear with me, I'm just looking for the right passage. So if you look at page 130, 134 is at the top of the page is where I'll take you to, but at the paragraph starts at page 133 and it's volume 1. Chair, do you have that page, 133, 134, volume 1?
I have it, just a minute.
Okay.
I do, thank you.
Thank you. I'll read you the paragraph so it's on the record. Mr. Wanga and I then watched the footage of the 2 days. There is nothing worth mentioning about the footage of 14 March 2022. I think that's a typographical error. Should be November. In any event, had nothing to do with the rumors about 15 November 2022. The footage of 15 November 2022 does show the JP arriving at his chambers carrying his bag. It later shows him leaving his chambers carrying the bag. And then paragraph 9 says, at no stage does the available footage of that day show Ms. Mengo entering the JP's chambers. The point of, that was the paragraph that I was referring to, the point of asking that question, you have no knowledge about what Judge Chikota saw or didn't see on the footage, is that correct?
None whatsoever.
Okay. Just bear with me. Thank you. I have no more questions for you.
Chair, Mr. Matansala will deal with this evidence. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Madonsela.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. I'm being reminded it's 1 o'clock. I don't know.
Oh, yes, correctly. So we can adjourn and come back at 1:45. Thank you.